What's your view? What's your view? What's your view? What's your view podcast?
Welcome to the What's Your View podcast with Olu Dolapo. This podcast was created as a space for real people with real life experiences that most people can relate to and learn from. Have a great time listening.
Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. And today I have 5 amazing people with me that will be talking about different life uncertainties that we go through at different phases in life. And so they'll be introducing themselves now, starting with
Hi everyone, my name is Alex. It's nice to be here. Thank you very much. I'm a growth and marketing associate. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Festus. Okay, I'm a fashion designer, and what else? I do a lot of things. You know, this is Nigeria. You have to do a lot of things. So that's.
Hi everyone. My name is Olu Adamlola and I'm a banker.
Hi, my name is Toby Akifewa. I'm a real estate consultant. Hi everyone, my name is Toby Akifewa. I'm a real estate consultant. I'm a fashion entrepreneur too. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ade Toro and I'm a banker, a seasoned banker at that.
Okay, so on today's episode we'll be talking about the uncertainties of life that we go through every day. The reality of our everyday existence is that things change every day, even when we wish that they would stay the same or not in a certain. So that's what we'll be talking about today. So we'll be talking about unexpected life realities in regards to losing a loved one, losing a job, breakup or heartbreak, losing money. And I think a typical example of uncertainty that we experience in the world is COVID, and it changed the trajectory of everything. So different people, or my speakers will be talking about different uncertainties they faced in life at one time or the other. Right? Maybe like, they thought they were going to have a job and did not get it. Or maybe like, they thought they were supposed to get a visa and did not get a visa or a scholarship. And so those are the different scenarios we'll be talking about in regards to them personally. So who wants to go first? Time ticking. Who wants to go first?
I used to shake. I'm going to show you my shake. Yeah. So usually I feel there are just things we cannot do without. Uncertainty here and there, you never can tell. You can only plan. And basically for me, there are internal and external factors. As much as we know in economics, which I think every one of us study at one point or the other, internal, external factors. What do? You can only defend yourself through the internal factor that you can control. Why should I bother myself about who is in power? Why should I bother myself why should I bother myself about what I cannot control? I'm looking for a job. Am I the interviewer? The only thing I can do is to prepare towards it. At best, prepare my CV, make available every other thing I think can give me a better chance. So, usually when it comes to uncertainty, is a two sides of a coin. Make your own parts available. How do I put it now? Sharpen your sword enough that whatever thing you get, and if it doesn't, it's just your part. Play your part. As much as they say when we're in elementary school, do your best and leave the rest.
Thank you, Festus. So, who wants to go next?
Okay, so for me, an uncertainty that comes to mind is when I actually had applied for a job at, I think that was my first banking job that I applied for. I actually got successful in it, and it was GT Bank. Okay, so I had done everything. It looked like, it had been settled. And right from when I was in school, university days, GT Bank was like my dream place to work. Like, I loved their innovation and tech improvements. They were like the brand that you wanted to belong to. So, getting the opportunity, I went to the head office. I had the test, passed the test, first stage, second stage. Okay, so I went through the second stage, and it was like, if you've gone through to the second stage and you did well, you're as good as you've gotten in. Okay, so prior to that time, I had been battling not having a job for a long time. Maybe 2 years after service, I think 2 or 3 years after service, I had gone through a lot of things which I don't think I will have the opportunity to speak on or talk about in this podcast. So I've gone through, and then it was the last stage of just a simple short interview or short chat. Okay, so I then sent an email requesting that, I've not heard anything I've not gotten feedback from you. I sent a mail to GTB and their HR. They haven't gotten feedback, only for me to eventually get the feedback, and it was a rejection mail to say I wouldn't be progressing to the next stage or to get the job. It was really heartbreaking. It was really heartbreaking because I looked forward to getting the job and then settling that aspect of my life. Like, in that period that I got that, it was the first time I'd been hearing of depression, people falling into depression and all. I've been hearing of that. I didn't know what it was. I just know that people fell into depression and all. I was always like, what are they talking about? But for the first time in my life, I fell into depression. Why I can tell is because I just naturally wake up with this heartache. Like, you're waking up from sleep and your heart is aching you seriously, and then nothing interests you anymore. So for me, that's one uncertainty that, I'd done my part, and then it felt like, you were already through. It was almost like we're being congratulated for getting the job, and then you're out, but then it didn't come through. So, but whatever it is, like we say, I did my best, it didn't come through. But now my story is not one of I'm still there. In the last 2 years, I've gotten promoted on my new job as a banker 3 times in the last 2 years, which is unusual if you are in the banking sector in this season. So really, but despite the uncertainties, you can be sure or trust that all things still work out for good.
Okay, so for me, I would say one uncertainty that I've gone through is losing my mom at a very young age, because it's even right now it's still playing out like a movie. Someone that you were together with the previous day, like a day before she died. I went for common entrance exam. Yes, common entrance exam. Yeah, primary school common entrance exam, and then I go back, and she's also a statistician, and I also study statistics in school. how that happened. Nobody knows. So, putting me through, this one, no, now this is how you should have done it, this is how you should have done it, and scolded me. And of course, I won't take it lightly. Like, at least it's not like as if I'm doing this thing I'm not planning to enter. It was a tryout, like just for me to, it's not like I was ready to go to secondary school, and only for me. And even at that time, I wasn't even sure if she was pregnant. Like, I didn't know. She's also very smallish in stature, just like I am. And so the next morning, being a Sunday, normally we would prepare to go to church, and we woke up, where is mommy, where is daddy? My aunt, a younger sister that was with us then, said that they were not around, that they went out. Are we not going to church today? She said no. And I saw her washing baby items and all. And like, has mommy gone to give birth? So like, keep quiet. You know how we can be like, move away and all. And then we were watching cartoon, Super Book, I cannot forget, on channels, Super Book. And then by afternoon, there was a knock on the door, and it was my dad. He was carrying my baby sister. Where is mommy? Where is mommy? So he took myself and my younger brother into the room, and then he said, mommy is not coming back. Mommy is not coming back. How? Like, and then everybody started crying. Like, people in the compound, my aunties were already around and all, and they had to take us, because of course I will break down now. They had to take us to our neighbor's place there just to calm us down. Those ones, they even wanted to take us out, if I can remember, and all. But at that point in time, everything changed for us. Everything changed for us, because it's not easy for one person to start to handle the job of two persons, and with 3 kids and a newborn. Several suggestions were thrown to my dad that, we should take my younger sister to orphanage, we should take her to Red Cross, like so many. But my dad said no, he's going to take care of this girl. And so it wasn't easy. Anybody that sees us growing up, you think we lived a life of luxury, but growing up now, I know it wasn't. It wasn't at all. At some point, when it was becoming too much, economy and everything, we had to scatter around. I had to stay with my aunts in Abuja after my junior secondary school. I had to move to Abuja. My younger brother, they had to bring him to boarding school. He went to Nigerian Navy here. Then my younger sister went to my dad's elder sister's place. So, like, exactly, they just had to. So you can imagine, I didn't see my siblings for like 3 years. For the 3 years I was in Abuja for my senior secondary school, I didn't come home at all. So it was just on phone, and we hardly talk like that and all. So from having one mother to having plenty mothers that have to make a decision concerning you. So it's even as I am like this, being an adult child with a mother of one, whatever decision has to be made about me, several people have to be involved. Yes, it's also good that my dad had that community to help him cope and handle the whole thing, because I'm sure several people would have lost it. And yes, he didn't get married. He didn't remarry till like until 14 years after. Yeah, for 12 or 14 years after, he said no, he wasn't going to marry. That he has to ensure that all his children are okay, we are doing well. I was in my final year. My younger brother was in 200 level, so my younger sister was in secondary school. So, and even up till now, they've been taking a whole lot for us, going the extra mile and all. So it's one uncertainty that has changed the trajectory of my entire life. Because at times I wonder, growing up and you're staying with your auntie, regardless of, it would always be like, there will always be that thing that you would know that any biological child, any. So it was like that, and I'll be thinking, I'm sure if my mommy was alive, I won't even be here. When I wanted to choose university I was going to go to, my dad asked her, which university do you want to go to? I want to go to Covenant University. And I was like, It's a no-no. It's a no-no. I cannot put all my money into you alone. Have you forgotten you have younger ones? And then in my mind, I'm like, if my mother were to be alive, it's that Covenant University that I will go to. It's that Covenant University I will go to, because at least the little knowledge I have and I know of her, my mom she worked with National Library of Nigeria, and she was a top, at least as at then, 2002. This happened, her death happened 2002, April 7. As at then, she was already a senior person in the organ. Most of our colleagues, friends, they all retired as directors and all. So I'm sure it wouldn't have been an issue if maybe I won't even be here safe. Probably. So you can imagine how that exactly, So that's about it.
All right. For me, so for me, I think I've had at different phases of life, we've had different, also even the certainty sometimes, it's not even certain. Even the certainty itself is an uncertain thing that you cannot even really, but I think the major one that really shook me and maybe changed was, I grew up in a comfortable family at first, everything was fine. I went to a primary school, everything was fresh then. My dad was working in a very good company, and he was working as a dredger. They call that in dredging, people that excavate sand from the sea. And those days there were no phones. I remember when Multilink just came, it was like gold. So back then, and so he wanted to buy his own dredging machine. He was already working in a company, and those days we sent money to China, and the rest is history. And that thing, so he had borrowed loan, he had borrowed from friends, did everything. And suddenly we did not see dredger, we did not see money, we did not see anything, and that thing just messed up the whole, Suddenly, I started seeing that one day, you just come home, you not see fridge again. Another day, you come home, you not see your TV again. It was really crazy as a very young boy, and I'm facing that kind of stuff. I'm like, I was confused. I didn't really know what was happening, but I knew that we're in a big mess. Just come back from school one day and there's no more chair in the parlor. I was shocked, like, what's happening? Like, what's happening in this house? Another day you come home and they sold the AC. So apparently you had to do it. So that thing really messed up, So when I was going to enter secondary school, I had to go to a government school. I don't even know which one is government, which one is public, but I know I went to a very public school because there was no, means and all of that. So that really was one percentage of life. I had grown up to live a comfortable life, thinking that everything was fine, but suddenly that happened and we had to adjust to like a lot of, because of that, I know that was one of that made myself and my siblings, we are really spaced. I'm 6 years older than my sister. My sister is 5 years older than my brother. So I'm like 11 years from my last one. So like, because of those crises, in that period, you're not even thinking of giving birth. Like I literally followed my mom to when she was giving birth to my younger one. To know that I was already grown because there was no childbearing coming, because a lot of things just really changed. And going up to uncertainties of school, I know I tried my hands on different, even business, even career, like what I said earlier. At times that you had already pictured your mind that you're going to just get this job. And I think there was a particular scholarship that I tried. I knew that this one, my mind was so certain that I was going to get it. So the painful part was, if I wish that they had dropped me, like, when they had dropped me like first stage, you just move your mind. Like I got to like the last stage. Like after that stage, just for them to announce, and at that point, and it was just a rejection. So that thing really like shattered me like a lot, but I had to like pick myself. So that's some of the uncertainties. Same thing, I've lost money from in tune of millions, and some of those aside that you don't even expect, you're not expecting it. Everything was fine, and suddenly one terrible thing just happens, and it just changed a lot of things about your life. So yeah, I think that's one of the
Okay, uncertainties. I think I'll go in the line which everyone it's that early phase of life. I wanted to say a recent one, but I need to the recent one. Okay, let me start from that one because it's bringing back some memories. So back then, so it's almost like, is it like Nigerian guys, like most Nigerians, they used to have that things were going on fine, then all of a sudden something just midlife crisis, like that crisis is in every family. I just want to be sure, did it ever happen to you? Dolapo cannot relate, but like, you know how things will be going, you know, I grew up with that. I think it's now I feel like the way I used to think my parents were very rich, but that time I was like, I'm one of the luckiest child. Like everything I wanted, they gave to me. I went to good schools. My dad did not even mind. Maybe it was just all about his children, giving them the best. And not until secondary school, I remember I was entering SS1 from junior school to senior school. And then people in my neighborhood, then they be like, who is this girl that school buses come and carry us? And they're not even going to schools around. Like one of the top schools in the area. Like, who is this person? And then my dad just called me one day. I said, Toby, your sister is still in school. She was going to Western College, another college like that. She was still in their other school at Ipaja. So, you know, and he just called me and said, I'm not sure we can go ahead with her again private school. I was like, Daddy, it was my ego that was even paining me, that people me that have been, hey, star girl, rich kid. You know, so I'll be going to school. And I say, you're going to be going to school around, like, you know, okay, I grew up around that time, we're already in Ayobo, and then the school is around Ipaja, we're already entering Abeson Estate, that area. So it's one of the top schools. It was already the same league with Doregos, all those, you know, all those big schools now. And then after I'll come back to Ayobo to go to what's the name of that school? I didn't want to remember the name of the school. I'm like, in the same area. Me that they don't even used to see me once in a while. I'm like, star girl. I said, Daddy, no. I said, Daddy, it was then I knew that this life, sometimes all you wish for is not, or you don't get it all the time. And then my dad said, so it's two things. It's that my sister goes to a lower school. I was like, but this is our last born. She has always been deprived. It's always, so I started feeling like she's cheated. She's always, based on me. So it was as if I was the favorite, of course. It looked like I was the favorite of my dad. But he was not making it so obvious. But in my mind, I knew that, why would you now lower the standard for my younger sister and then give me the understand? I was like, that is two things. I'm a good student. My director in school, the proprietor, talk to him, negotiate, tell him, you don't use yes, I told my dad. I said, you don't use you don't use old school fees. Daddy, talk to him. He's going to ask, I'm a good student. I'm at least, I'm bright now. And my dad went to school. He talked to me. He said he has never done it for any student, but he would do it for my dad. Wow. So he gave us a very good discount. That was how I got into, I retained, I finished in that school. And then after school, I thought, okay, that's just a phase and it had ended. It's time to go to uni. I wrote JAM. You know, as per bright student, I didn't write WAEC twice. Once I cleared WAEC, cleared NECO. JAM now, I cleared the first one. And now picked OAU. The life now happened. Shake the happened. You know when your cut-off mark is supposed to be like, okay, let's say 200. And you're now 199, 198. I cried hell that day. My dad said, see, this life, you are now understanding when I say, you know, growing up now, everything has always been smooth, and then all of a sudden, so my dad, things just happened. And then just as if our financial, my parents were not, they're just struggling. And so my dad now called. So I remember around that time, he retired, and they were supposed to, the federal government was supposed to pay his gratuity. They didn't pay it once. They now paid the first one. And I said, we have this money. And my dad has always been this open father. We know how much he earns right from when we were growing up. So we don't have high expectation. Like, as at that time I was going to school now, I know I didn't get an admission the first time. I wrote JAM the second time. Like play. All my friends, they went to private school. Me, I was struggling with OAU. Second year, third year, I was still struggling. And I even did one exam. They now gave me scholarship, Birmingham City University, UK. That time, I now told me, I said, Daddy, they've sent me mail. I've gotten admission in UK. My daddy was happy. He now called me later at night. Come, I want to see you. And you know when your father called you on the room, you know something is Shege Pro Max. But you come, you say, I'm always giving you the best. I always want the. When they start giving you all those talk, pep talk. I have okay. I said, I have the money. You can pay that scholarship now, the flight and everything. How much? Let's say I think as at then, was it 1 to 1 million that I will go. But said my sister will be affected. I know this is gratuity. You already have planned for that money. You wanted to start a business, so a lot of things will be affected. He said, so I should think about it and just go and sleep over it. That's the first time in my life that I will really think about something. Like, I didn't sleep that night. I was just all over. I was like, okay, if I go now, what if things don't go as planned? Will my parents suffer, my siblings? I started thinking. I just told my dad, I said, Daddy, don't worry, I'll continue with OAU. We'll go again. Let me forfeit this admission. I had to send mail to that school they even sent me the call that was the reason, I was pained. That's one major uncertainty of life that really hit me. Then coming back to the recent one, not so recent, that was before we got married. I know myself and my husband now, we already, we had plans. We're already like, okay, we knew what we wanted before we wanted to get married. So, and then something happened. Forex happened. My husband was trading. Then he now left his own trades. He was now giving some people money, collecting money from people because he had a lot on his hands. So he started giving people money. He had lost money. So imagine you already planned. There was also time. I was doing my stuff. I was doing business then. So like, okay, let's give ourselves target. We can get married as also. And then COVID happened. So we already lost it that this thing cannot happen. So all of a sudden, I think he should share his own story of uncertainty. He has seen crazy in his life, but he's more strong. I've not seen someone that's strong as him. He told me, say, okay, just call me one day. Let's get married in August. I said, from this shege you have entered into, I was like, don't worry, we'll come out of it. But let's maximize this COVID year. We'll do whatever we want to do. And thank God he's somebody that is also understanding. I didn't ask for too much, but I actually asked for the basics. I don't want to get married and then I'll not start seeing shege. So let the basic things. It was like before you get married, you have to have a car. Make life easy at least. Movement and all, accommodation, and then his business has to start running. So he got a lot of machines, he did a lot of stuff then. And at that point, it was like, this is what he has left. Somebody that was already running into millions, already had plans, and then everything just went to like 10%. I was like, this 10%, let's start our life with it. That was one major, when you've planned your life, you're like, okay, this is what you do at least when you marry, we'll do this, we'll do that. And then it just shock you. And we had to start, we picked ourselves again, planned with what we had. Okay, this is what we have, and you already got the car then, you already started running the business. This is the kind of wedding we want to have. It doesn't have to be, something elaborate. And thank God for COVID. We are one of the blessings of COVID. 50 people. I remember the all we used then, even though we were more than 50, we were like 100. And I knew my family, anything party. Because my dad had not done a party in a long time, so they were waiting like, this party. Thank God for COVID, we were able to. And we told our parents, you don't need to. My dad was like, this is too impromptu. We had introduction in August, we had our wedding in October, so it was a short time. That give us some time. I was like, Daddy, anything you want to add to our wedding? He told his father too, it's a plus. We are doing our wedding based on our budget. So no pressures. We are not asking you for anything. And then my dad was like, are you sure? He said, don't worry, we'll sort food. That every other thing we should go and sort it. And then we were able to do that, and we had our wedding. Another uncertainty of we cannot just rush and have baby like this. So there's so much, we are trying to balance up and stabilize and all of that. And then he said, okay, let's trust God. Let's say at least let's give ourselves like a year after, or close to 2 years. He said 2 years, I was like 1 year and some months. So 1 year and some months came. The first month we're ready to let's plan to have this baby. So the baby did not come the first month. I didn't know that in this life you don't just there's I already knew, but in my mind like she used to have baby. The first month like, hey, I'm not pregnant. Hope it's not that what happened to this person is going to happen to me. I said I remember that hey, hope it's not that I will wait for 5 years. Hope this and my dad was already telling me at that time that this one that people are helping God. My daddy will send text me every morning. Stop helping God. Ask the child you want to have. I'm like, Daddy, what do you mean by stop helping? Don't you understand the way the economy is like? It's God that used to take care of children. Don't help God. Don't give God calendar or time that you want to have your child. So people should do what you want. I was like, hey, this part my father has been saying, what to share here? This baby did not come. Just 1 month. I mean, my mind. Like, I was almost losing it. Like, hey, it's not that everything they've been saying, God, I was not doing it my own way. You know, you were just like, able to go ahead. You know, I said, questioning a lot of things. Like, will this baby come? Will this guinea come? Second month, I just found out that I was pregnant. I was like, okay. So the worries was just, my point is, in all of this, there's always uncertainties in life. It took every stage of your life. Because sometimes it becomes easy. How will life be interesting now? If everything you want comes at the platter of, like, how do you learn resilience? I learned resilience a long time ago. Like, imagine saying 4 years, you're one of the brightest students in secondary school. You know, when I call my friends then, how far? Then I see you. And you know, I went to big man school now. Maybe now me be the poorest for the big man school. All of them private school. My father could not afford private school now. And the only you that I said I must go, no. They didn't give me admission. Somebody now said there's one FUNAB. I was like, Abeokuta, it's close to Lagos, but let me manage the school. It's even a great school. And I applied. They gave me admission after 4 years. In between the 4 years, I've gotten scholarship. There are so many things. I've learned business, a lot of things within the 4 years. But I've come to realize that if you don't go through all these things, there won't be resilience. There won't be tenacity. You just, that's why I look at the changes of today. Any small thing, I'm having depression. Yes. Months. It's killing. Is it the one of living? Let me share this last one. I left Abeokuta. Okay, marriage brought me to Abeokuta. I was like, okay, Lagos, I'm already, this business is already making sense now. Business is already making sense. Everything's already, I'm already trying to pick up things. And they're coming to Abeokuta and I'm not sure. I don't know how. It's not like I don't know. I schooled in Abeokuta for 4 years. But the fear of there are so many uncertainties with Abeokuta. Like, how will I start my business here? Business doesn't boom like in Lagos. Do you understand? So I was scared. I was like, how do I start over? You know, that entrepreneurship journey. This is me that I've been tutoring people, I've been coaching people on how to start a business, how to do from Sir Alex, now from school. I've done conferences in FUNAB, Business Excellence Summit, Kilikatigbo, Business Excellence Summit, the convener. Business successfully. So the fear, I was like, what will happen to my life? Now that I'm now married now, how will I just be there? What will I do? Thank God for mentors. Thank God for Pastor Samson. I was like, Toby, location is not, you will try. I know you. As long as you're not lazy, and I do, you don't worry. It's just a face. I remember then he just called me and like, Toby, come. He saw that my energy was already dropping. So I said, sister, I was not used to just sitting at home, and I was doing business online. Then I was like, this is how I'll just be sleeping and waking up, and then we'll go out. We'll say we are going somewhere at Saturday bed, no traffic. No traffic, everything. So that's things were just slow in this city. I was like, okay, we are going to do it now, and we'll come to Abeokuta and we'll make way. I started confessing positively. I started, associating myself. Thank God for the church behind me. started meeting people. Imagine the number of people I've met, the number of contacts. That now I don't even, community. Look, I've met you, Dolapo, Starboy. I've met you guys. So it's a lot. If of course the fear will be there, but the fact that you overcome that phase, just have it at the back of your mind that uncertainties will come. It will happen. If it doesn't happen, I don't even know what's life. Why are we existing? It will happen, but we are going to overcome it and we're going to learn the lessons and we'll move on.
So lastly, right, what is the most important thing for anybody to have at the back of their mind when they are going through a phase of uncertainty? What is the most important thing to have at the back of your mind when you are going through uncertainty?
So basically, I think that was the ending part of my opinion about it. Play your part. Definitely. There is little you can do. Don't overestimate yourself. Now, about 3 weeks ago, we were buying fuel at the price of 188 naira per liter. Presently, we are buying at 500, 520. What can you do about it? Extremely. So, anxiety is something you create for yourself. What is now going to happen? Calm down. Are we not buying it? Has anyone died of not having fuel? The only thing is everybody just had to go back in, cut your clothes according to your size. I know Gen Z might not believe in this one now. Definitely. But it's as simple thing. Cut your coat according to the material you have. That's all. If you cannot afford Louis Vuitton or say Balenciaga or whatever, go. You might not even need to go to somewhere else, buy something, even if your own is Balenciaga or a Gucci instead of the Gucci. It's just the way it is. Because the first thing is survival. You cannot thrive if you don't survive first. So while you are trying to secure the bag, try to secure purse, try to secure wallet. You understand? So that by the time bag will come, you will not have died. So leave all this, regardless of it, do your best. Play the ones you are supposed to do. Even Bible will tell you, if you do this, I will do this. There is a condition to most of the promises and all. So just play your part and expect that every other thing will align.
Do you think the emotional trauma that comes with the experiences of uncertainties, do you think we ever get over them, or we just move on in life? Alongside your thoughts together.
Okay. Well, yes. For most of us that have gone through several uncertainties, I won't say some, several uncertainties, you learn over time that you actually, what you should learn from it is you will get over it. It will happen at the point where it is happening. It's like the world has ended, but the world doesn't end, or it won't end, because you are created for a purpose. So really, you are not just meant to. It's not the end of the world. Yes, as they say, it's not the end of the world. Okay, it has happened. The next thing that you need to do is to look forward. Oh, this has happened. What is the next step? What can be better? It may be easy to say with mouth, but not easy when you are actually experiencing it. But in all honest truth, the world doesn't end and you get over it. Okay, so what's the question again? Okay, yeah. Do you ever get over it? You see, sometimes you don't get over it. What happens most times, or sometimes or most times, is you just move on. Except an event occurs again and then that triggers the pain or the emotions up again. But you mostly move on. Most times you just move on. And then sometimes if it's not too serious, you get over it. But when you have a serious scenarios or situations, okay. So I remember just very shortly when I lost my dad. Okay, I was about 7, thereabout. Okay, I've been young. Being young at that time, it didn't really occur to me. I didn't actually even feel probably any emotion. I just knew I was very young, and then they said, oh, my dad had died, and all of that. But going into secondary school, I had a scenario where everyone's dad was present except for mine. And then I went into the hostel then, and I began to cry. In that situation, I thought I had moved on and forgotten about it, but a scenario came up that brought it back pain. That I went to sit down. It was noticeable because it was a small hostel. I was by myself, and then people had to come and check up on me and what happened and all of that. But then, like I said, sometimes you get over it completely, and sometimes all you just do is move on.
Thank you.
Really, for me, I won't say that you would get over the emotions, or it's not something that you can forget. Of course, when those thoughts come, when I had my baby and I didn't have help, I asked myself, if my mom was here, of course she won't do anything less than 3 months with me, and I won't be thinking. So, and at that point I also felt, or I missed her presence in my life. So it's how will I say, the coping mechanism would be that you look ahead for a brighter future where there is will, there is a way. And then also, the most important thing is know Christ for yourself, not what someone says to you, but that is studying the word, knowing his plan and his purpose for you in life. So even when you are facing uncertainties, you can always go back to him and say, well, this is what you said, this is what you said. And he, in that same word, is also going to strengthen you and give you the grace to go through that process, and you come out a better person.
Okay, so I would say that first you need to, the pain will not, I can't say the pain will leave you. Like, the memories will always be there. But I think what you should hold on to is the positive side of it, because I see that all of those things it has given me opportunity for growth. Like I said, the resilience, the ability to adapt, So, and I don't know, whatever challenges is coming, or it will always be there. Like they said, boring in your basket, so as you progress in life, there will be more challenges, but we'll face it head on, trusting that the ones that came before now were able to overcome it. So one, be kind to yourself. Just avoid anything you cannot, that is beyond your control. The ones you can control, you understand. So, and most importantly, like, this scripture has always been it for me, that the path of the righteous shines brighter and brighter unto the perfect day. So for every situation I'm in, for every phase of my life, I just know that it will get better. It might be rough, it might be, the uncertainties will be there, but I will pull through, and it's going to, I'll come out stronger and better. Thank you. Yeah, I said it. Be kind to yourself. Don't anything you cannot control, don't stress yourself over it. Just make sure there are things, just work, do your best, put in your best, and the ones you cannot control, leave it to God. And then talk to people don't bottle up things, because whatever it is that you're going through, somebody has gone through it, so it makes your journey easier and faster. Talk to people about it. They will share their experiences. How were they able to overcome it? So you avoid the pitfalls, avoid the pitfalls. It gets better for you. So that's why we have mentors. That's why we have people we look up to, people that we respect and honor. So, and most importantly, you cannot take away the place of God. Like I was asking my husband, I said, how do unbelievers cope in these our times? Like, everything don't scatter. As you are trying to understand this one, another one is coming up. Like everywhere, what is dark for? But we have an edge over the unbelievers. We have God. We know, like Pastor preached last Sunday, the promises. We hold on to God's promises, and that's what gives us a level of confidence. They say, because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. The fear will be there, those things will come. But because we know God that has always been for us, He would uphold us, He would strengthen us through the faith, and we are going to come out strong. So just hold on to God, hold on to God's word. Make sure you ask questions, talk to people, and do not despise community. Don't isolate yourself, especially in these times. Don't isolate yourself. Make sure you're in the right community. People that would help you, they will not make you feel less of yourself. That would encourage you, that will lift you up. So those are the things. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think I'll just pick it up from where Toby said. Yeah, first, one cannot avoid these uncertainties in life, but definitely we can always maneuver them, so to say. Yeah, you can always, the thoughts don't go away. You cannot hide from the scars. Emotional scars will always be there. There are times that you have triggers of, this thing has happened before, but at the same time, it's like converting your fear into faith. Converting that thing that has been a trigger into a positive trigger. When we talk about catalyst, it could speed up the rate of a reaction, it could slow it down. So the same trigger can also be your point of strength. You can decide to channel that same situation into something positive and see, like Toby said, like pick the lessons. As much as we mentioned all of these uncertainties we have in life, I can say that those are some of the turning points in life that you can, so that thing cannot happen to you again. It can't happen to you again. I can't have that same experience again, because I know that I've seen it before. It looks like a movie, like that's played out before your eyes. So when next another thing comes like that, it helps you. Another thing that I see that it does, it helps you to even guide others. I've had to discover young people many times, teenagers, people like myself, and I'm able to use myself as a proper guide. Even when some of those uncertainties happened and it affected my own schooling, I was able to stay on my parents to say that my siblings, their own education is not going to be like that. Even though I take it as I've suffered everything. I make sure that my own siblings know. The age that I enter school is almost, they even finished, my siblings finished earlier than the age I even enter school. They had finished like way earlier, because I was able to say, I've suffered it a bit. These ones, they must not. So whatever I did take, so that was that's not even for my siblings, not talk of other people that have been able to help, to guide and say, if you are facing this kind, this is most likely what will happen. And many people were able to, this is what you should do. So that's also converting that same situation to a strength. I picked out lessons from it, and I was able to also help myself, help other people too. So one thing that I can tell people to also hold on to, like Toby said, is really you can't do me. I'm a people person, so I believe so much in the power of people, because reading from the classical quadrant, where you see that more people equals more money generally. And they say your net worth is determined by your network. Who do you know? So you can't do without. You can't say, like they always say that no man is self-made. People always say like no man is self-made. There's nobody that you made yourself. No, there must have been a deposit of persons in your life at different points in time. This person might have possessed this, so at different points. So you cannot now do without not having people in your life. So I'll say that if I have people that are going through those periods, those dark times, that looks like you must have the right association, you must have the right network of people, have people that you speak to. It's not necessarily that you have one person. You can have, for example, I have different mentors, so to say, at different intervals of my life. If I want business, I will not go to someone that is spiritual for business. I know that this person is sound in this place, so I have someone that, if I'm going through anything, maybe job or something, I know somebody that I can speak to, that I know that this person is sound in this. But if I know, of course, the spiritual part is there, of course, I have friends too that I know that these ones, I just need to like call them up, and one time I know that this one's their head is sound and work. You get? So we have to channel our strength in those places to know that, okay, you have the right people surrounding you at those particular times. Those are people that will be able to hold you up and guide you the way to do at those particular times. So, having the right association, knowing the right people, knowing the right persons to help you in those periods is really a plus. And I think that's what I'm going to say. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So I'll be ending this episode by reading out Reinhold Niebuhr's version of the Serenity Prayer, which says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And thank you guys for being a part of this podcast. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening to What's Your View with Olu Dolakwo. Do not forget to share, like, and leave a comment. Remember, you can reach out to us on Instagram at What's Your View with _Olu Dolakwo. And if you use Anchor, do not forget to leave us a voice message and leave a comment. Thank you once again for listening.